Hey guys, welcome back to the Crafty Couple. If you're new to the channel, we're so excited to have you here and hope you enjoyed today's video enough to subscribe and follow our journey. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up and let us know in the comments which one's your favorite. For our first project, we're going to be making some boho wall art and a little tray. What we're using here is an 8x10 canvas frame. I'm going to go ahead and use a razor blade to cut around the outside of these staples. That way what we can do is just remove the entire canvas from the frame and we don't have to worry about trying to get those staples out. So I wanted to give you guys a quick heads up. Make sure to check the canvas frame before you cut the canvas off. Some of these have a lime green hue to it and it would look really weird if you left it as is or if you tried to stain it. So check that before you cut the canvas off. If you see that, just keep the canvas on and use it for another project, maybe wall art or something like that. Because I promise it won't look good. I ended up switching this out for another frame you'll see here in just a little bit. And then if you have any excess of that actual canvas, go ahead and rip that off. It should come off easily. So we're going to be using this bag from Dollar Tree. I thought it was a really neat kind of boho vibe going on here. So I thought it would be cool to make a little wall art piece. So what we're doing is I'm lining up the left side here with the crease at the bottom of the bag. And then on the right side, I'll just draw a straight line and then I'll make my cuts around there so that we'll have just a rectangular piece to fit in our canvas. And for cutting, I'm just using some simple scissors, or you can even use a razor blade to cut these off. If you guys are wondering, these are Dollar Tree scissors and I would highly recommend getting a nicer pair. Spend a little bit more money, get something. Just to be honest, they do not cut very well at all. Now that we've got the rectangular piece cut out, you can see the frame will fit over nicely. And now to give it a little bit more strength and durability, I'm just going to glue it to some poster board. Now, in the long run here, when I turned it into a tray, I would recommend gluing it to either some wood or some foam board just to give it a little bit more strength. But if you're hanging it up for a wall art, the poster board will work just fine. And again, just using a razor blade to cut this out. This is the first time me trying this spray glue from Dollar Tree. I wasn't a huge fan, at least for what I was doing here. It kind of started warping the poster board, so maybe just use like a glue stick and go around the edges and then the center here to glue it down together. It worked okay, but it wasn't that user-friendly to work with. That's just my personal opinion. Once I have that glued on, we can move forward to gluing the actual picture here on the back of the frame. So I just put a few dots in each corner for the first part, and then I'll hold those down until they're dry, and then I'll go around and glue the sides down. So this is originally how I was going to leave it, with like the natural wood look on the frame. You could even add a little bit of a light stain to it, but I was going to leave it just for like a wall decor piece or maybe a desk decor. But I wanted to take it a little bit further and turned it into a tray. So I'm using this gloss white spray paint from Rustoleum, and we're going to go ahead and spray the entire frame. While that's drying, we can put together the handles. I'm using these little cubes from Dollar Tree and the 6-inch dowels. So you're going to use 2 of these cubes and just glue that dowel right in the middle of both of those. After we've got those glued together, we can move on to painting. I wanted something that was close to that gold on the pattern. So this is what I found probably the closest. It's kind of a rose gold color from Rustoleum. As you can see, it kind of matches with that pattern that we have here. And then after we've got all of that painted and completed, we can move on to putting it together. First, what I did was, since we're using it as a tray, I wanted to give it a little bit more strength so that we're not tearing through that. we can place things on it. So I just put a couple coats here of the ModPodge and to seal it up a little bit. Now we can move on to putting it all together. Now keep in mind yours will not look as rough as mine, and that was just because I had to peel the backing off so I could paint the frame. And right here I'm just eyeballing as close to center as possible when I put these handles on. Now I thought this was really cool. I liked how the tray turned out, a little bit different and definitely gives it that modern boho look. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like it more as like a wall art piece with the natural wood frame, or do you like it as the tray?
For this next project, I will be using these craft sticks from Dollar Tree. Just lay them out in a diamond pattern, and you can make as many diamonds as you want. It's just about how long that you want it. Once they were all laid out, I just separated the tops from the bottom. One of them will be a template one, so we will just hot glue that together. And then I'm going to be using that one to make sure all the rest of them are the same size. With all of those hot glued together, just line them up how we had them before because we're going to start hot gluing them together. So when I was putting this together, I did spend quite a bit of time making sure they all kind of go the same way or like a certain pattern. It really doesn't matter in the end because we will be putting tiny cubes over the top where they all connect, so you won't even see that anyways. When you're making any of our projects, we use hot glue just for time purposes. We both would recommend using a stronger glue like E6000 for any of our projects. Also, if you are ever wondering what products we use, there will be a list in the description below. This is what it should look like after all 4 pieces are put together, and I will be using these wood craft cubes from Dollar Tree just so that you can hang stuff on top of this. I placed the craft cubes just everywhere that the craft sticks met. And then I just hot glued them all onto those spaces. When you glue them on, just make sure that they are straight and not turned sideways. This is what it looks like finished. You can leave it this natural color, or I am going to go ahead and stain it with this dark walnut stain. Let me know in the comments below if you prefer it just the natural wood or stained. Now that this is finished, we just put nails under the top triangle areas, and you can hang jewelry or plants or anything you'd like.
For our last project, we're going to be making that Boho Planter, and we're going to be using these 2 different types of nautical rope from Dollar Tree. The first thing I decided to do was completely take apart one whole rope into the 3 strands. Now, I wanted it to have a little bit different of a look than just twisted up rope, so that's why I took it all apart. What I'm doing is putting a little bit of glue here on the end, and I'm gonna go through and braid the entire rope. So find something a little bit heavier that you could put on the end just to make it easier for you. And then what I did is went through the whole thing and braided it all back together. Once you have it all braided together, you can go ahead and cut off the excess and then put a little bit of hot glue on the end here and twist that together to hold it from falling apart. Now that we have our braided rope, we can go ahead and start gluing it. Now this is just a vase that we had from Dollar Tree. Originally, we were going to use it for a different project a while ago. That's why it's painted white. But essentially, you can use this on any size or style vase that you like. So the most important part is to have this bottom row completely glued down. And then after that, you can wrap the rope around a few times and then glue it down. The main thing you want to do is have that bottom row and the top row completely glued. And the other thing here is once we've gone around quite a few times and we're getting close to the end of the rope, make sure you pay attention because you want to wrap it to where when you're cutting it and you're ending that rope, it's on the back side of the vase where we first started, because you don't want to have it wrap around to the front and then have that seam. And then what I'm doing here is moving on to that softer white rope. And again, I completely unraveled that. But what I'm going to use is just one strand of those three. And again, I'm just gluing those ends together so they don't fray. So this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier, is we're not going to use the entire rope. We want to strategically cut this so that it's at the back where we first started. So make sure to line that up, go ahead and cut that, and then we can glue that down. And then we'll start with our other rope right there. So I decided to start in the middle. So about half of my vase is the braided rope and then half is this softer white strand. And you can do it really however you guys would like. You play around with different design ideas. Hopefully this just gives you a little bit of inspiration on how you can create it yourself. And then I just ended up using the white rope to go all the way up to the top. So I ended up using Eucalyptus from Walmart. I think it's $1.50 for a pick. I used 2 of them. Definitely go check out what Walmart has. They have an awesome selection for you guys at a really good price. If you love our boho style videos, we've actually created a playlist with more boho videos and we'll continue to add more to that. So make sure to click the link right here and you can go enjoy more of those videos. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day.